Okay. There we go. I got both of you.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't. I was like, let's get it toasted.
that's
So is
what I
it
was
Kristen or
saying.
Kristen?
Kristen.
Kristen and Brian. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Yeah. So you were saying?
Well, that was the thing. I found that going up and down the California coast from where I was born in Santa Cruz, I ended up kind of meeting and knowing everybody as we traveled along, and I always had people I knew and just could talk to or call, things like that, go visit at a house. We came here to the islands and got into a great farm for almost 2 years running. It's like a year and 8
In
months.
Maui.
Yeah, in Maui. And the gentleman owner of the farm there was just incredible, gracious guy, right? Kept us nice and happy. And then we got this opportunity to come to Kauai. Kristen's heart is in Kauai. She's been here before with extended family, and I thought this is going to be great. Once we got here, the farm we were on didn't work out, and it just seems funny to not know anybody here in the islands. It's odd to walk around and not know, like, you're going to see that guy tomorrow at the store, you're going to see the same bus driver. And I mean, that started to happen. Past couple weeks, we've met a few drivers who know us by name. We do the, shake together and listen to music on the bus. We get good support from the people we've made friends with here, but they're still in their businesses. They're not like the guy next door. You can walk down and go, hey, how's it going today? Let's go to the market. Let's go to the beach. Mm-hmm. So it feels isolated a little bit.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah, but it feels wonderful to be here, and it also feels really good. We don't need like a crowd of people around us. It's nice to have our alone time and just do our thing. But every now and again, you're like, it'd be nice to go talk to this person today and see if they're there. And now that we're out at Anini Beach, which we'll be back at Anahola soon, Anini's much further from me without a vehicle, walking back and forth and busing. Mm-hmm. So I feel a little more isolated there. I'm working now at the UPS store in this very parking lot, and he's got me in on afternoons and wants me to do mornings. But we haven't had a regular place to stay to get me here in the mornings. Mm-hmm. And since our whole goal was to farm, we went from one farm to the next with all the gracious, amenities begun. Every conversation went well, the setup was great, and then when we got here, things just did not work out, and so now we're kind of free-floating, trying to get back to what we tried to do, farming. We want to rebuild, we want to farm, we want to have a stable place to be, which is like the benefit on our side. But in where we get to be, we want to be able to work and produce and reclaim the land we were taught about, that we have not even seen yet, except for, say, 3 weeks when we first arrived on the island. Mm-hmm. So this is a big deal for us. We want the opportunity to get a chance to prove that we are wanting to grow, produce, and actually share with the community. Because our dream is to have our own property, our own garden, and 3 years woofing is like our first goal, to have this work trade and farm opportunity not roll out from under us and have to start from scratch again with, again, people we don't even know. Mm-hmm. So in meeting you here for the first time, Free, and her speaking with Daryl, we felt very comfortable that this is an actual opportunity and not a scam. Yeah. I know that's my long wind, but that's how it feels. That's really what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And I liked that in Daryl's ad on Reddit. He said only the brave need apply.
The brave and the bold. Yeah.
Yeah, the brave and the bold.
That's something you really got to be aware of. It's like, I'm going to tell you the history of, we call it Shambhala Farm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Daryl and Cheryl were working the land. They were farmers, and they're making their living off the land. And they're you're not killing it making like organic farming and taking your harvest to the markets and stuff like that. You're not making a lot of money, but it was enough to survive. Mm-hmm. But then this whole complicated thing happened where the developer of the bigger project, it's like a 400-acre project, and they got like 2 acres within a 400-acre project. So there's just 2.
Yeah.
But the dude who developed the 400 acres, he scammed people out of like $9 million from that project.
Ouch.
And a total of like $30-some million from various people he'd been ripping off. And he was about to be he was supposed to be sentenced in Lihue to go to jail.
Right.
But that day, he had skipped the island.
Of course.
And he drove his car off a cliff in Washington, a 200-foot cliff. Boom! And he killed himself. And so all the landowners out there are left high and dry. He took $9 million to what was supposed to put in the roads and electricity and all that stuff. And he stole it, he gave it away, and he killed himself.
And that still leaves him with that entitled ownership that has to be reclaimed by the people working the land, right?
Yeah. So people like us who are trying to buy the land from him, we're stuck. We gave him all our money, and he was supposed to put in the roads and electricity, and instead he stole it and killed himself. So anyway, okay. So now roll forward a few years. now we're working the land, everything's good. But so we kind of got over that, and we're going through all kinds of hoops to get the roads and electricity and water in.
Yeah.
And then they do an assessment. They say, okay, you farmers that you own this land.
Yeah.
We know you bought your land, you own your land, and everything like that. But the dude stole all our money, your money too, and our money, and we got to put in these roads and this electricity and this water, and it's going to cost over $9 million. The money he stole now, because it's later on, and price has gone up.
Yeah.
And so they assessed everybody I don't know, $200,000, like $200,000 or something in
every
between
single
there,
person.
and different chunks. It's like, okay, $15,000 now, $60,000 now it's $125,000, and it just kept going. And so we're humble farmers we're to being told, okay, you got to pay this $200,000 or you lose your land.
And you're trying to produce enough money and food just to eat
Just
and
to
be
eat
there.
and live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then we're like, we can't do this farming.
No.
So we get jobs and to do businesses, and I go into construction anyway.
Yeah, but I understand that because that's where I'm at, going back to work so I can have income so we don't fail while we try and reclaim that dream of farming
we've
and
just
have a
been
place to
farming
build
for
up.
Yeah. And then Daryl and Cheryl leave the land, and people stop working the land. The people they were employing, they had like 7, 8, 9 employees at one point, something like that. And then they're off the property for like 10 days straight, and all their stuff's there. All their farming equipment, except for their construction equipment, is all there on the land. And some people come in one day they take everything.
Now,
They
I
take
heard
the
about
tractors.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that wasn't nailed down was basically just taken off the land, and they stole it, took it somewhere, and used it or threw it.
Yeah. And
We did hear about that.
yeah.
That's
Anyway,
not cool. And those people are still around that area, as far as we know. There's still
Yeah.
people up in that area that have an eye on or access to if we leave stuff behind or no one's there.
yeah. So I was up there this morning, and the first time I'd seen it in years was last night.
Okay.
I went up there, and some things are beautiful. There's a permaculture paradise, but
Right.
a lot of stuff has happened. There were a couple of storage buildings. The storage buildings were torn apart, and the contents strewn all over the property. The greenhouse has fallen into a state of disrepair. There was this elaborate irrigation system that's all destroyed because of people driving over it and stuff, and it was like in ground and everything. And so I met two guys out there this morning. They called themselves Casey and what was the other guy? I wrote the other guy's name down. His last name was Baptiste, but I can tell you later.
Were they
But anyway.
drifting or working?
They just drove up onto the land, and one guy was revving his engine out on the road, and one guy just drove right up into the land. But there's no markers out there. All the no trespassing signs have been torn down. All the fences have been torn down. Everything's torn down, and so there's no demarcation that says this is private property
And now
anymore.
all those things need to be redone.
Yeah.
That
And-
makes sense, though.
Yeah, and those guys told me that a couple of dudes who were accused, who had been these other two guys, Matt and Calvi, that they had. Those are people that had been reported to us were out there, like for no reason, and people were wondering why are they out there.
Right.
And then those guys told me this morning that those two dudes have been arrested. They don't know what for, and they're apparently in jail right now. So,
And they might come out soon, they might not.
we never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Anyway, so but anyway, so I just wanted you to know kind of what you're getting into. Also, the roads are paved. The electricity is laid down, but it's not. There's like all kinds of stuff. There's transformers that need to be bought, and those are like ridiculously expensive. And the water department needs to improve the water, and people are damaging the water system out there right now. Anyway, but sorry, I was trying to get your story, but I guess I give this farm story.
We get both sides here. That's awesome, because he's going to get both sides too.
Okay.
Because this is you prepping us for what it's been like up till now.
Yeah.
If we're there and we meet these people and they're not threatening to us personally, they're still out there on the property damaging it and that kind of thing, or just abusing the privilege of having access to the property.
Yeah, the trespassing is for sure a thing. But these may or may not be good people that are coming out there. I mean, one guy said he likes the oranges. There's some fantastic Tangelos right now, and maybe we should go back and harvest
Yeah.
them or something before they do. Yeah, and anyway, so let's go out there, and I hope you don't mind if we maybe take a stop at the beach. I need to hit the water. I haven't been in the ocean for a long time, so.
This is our time together. We're okay with
Cool,
that.
cool,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
This is just a fantastic opportunity to both see the property and meet with somebody in person, actually meet you, instead of just being on the phone or knowing there's a
Yeah.
spot up there, and if we go look at it by ourselves, you never know. Yeah.
Cool. All right.